Good morning, Peter. I confirm we are now streaming live on YouTube. We have 15 participants joining us via YouTube. It's now 11:01. Do let us know whether we should start or if we should give participants a few more minutes to join in.
Yeah, Diana, and good morning, everyone. I think, Diana, we give ourselves 5 minutes to give some allowance for those who are joining to do so. So that then after 5 minutes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll start at 11:06.
Okay.
Good morning once again. Sarah, if you could go to the instruction slide, I'd like to take the team through some housekeeping rules before we formally kick off the session. My name is Diana Isakata and I work for IFC. I'll be your moderator today and I'll be ensuring that we are up and running. So in case any one of you is experiencing any challenge, do reach out to me through the chat box and I will try and assist. So let's just go over some housekeeping rules. Number one, I will request all the participants to kindly turn off your cameras. We will only have the presenters switching on their cameras as they make their presentations. Please follow the instruction displayed on the screen. Click the second icon at the bottom of your screen, the second icon from the left, to switch off your cameras. And then I would also kindly request all participants to mute your audio. This is to ensure that we have a seamless session where we have minimal interruption. The microphone icon is highlighted in red. It's the first icon at the bottom of your screen to the left of the screen. And then we will use the chat box to share feedback and pose questions to the panel. We'll have a Q&A session where the panel will get to address all the questions raised during the webinar. The chat box is the third icon from the left at the bottom of your, from the right at the bottom of your screen. It's marked with the red arrow. The icon itself is marked in blue. And then in case you're experiencing any challenges with audio connection on WebEx, kindly click on audio, then select audio connection, then select call using my computer. Alternatively, you could join us through YouTube and I'll post the link shortly in the chat box. And finally, today's webinar will be delivered via WebEx and YouTube, and the session will be recorded. I will now hand over to Dorcas Mogambi to kick us off. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so very much, Diana, for that great intro and for the housekeeping. It is always a great pleasure to have you on board and even to walk together this journey. So as you have said, we are, ours is to work with our customers and see how we can be able to support them during this season. And I'm sure that is why we are working as a team between IFC and ourselves to see how best we can be able to deliver for our customers. So before we get started, I would request to my colleague, Peter, to just lead us with a word of prayer because we recognize God as our Almighty. Therefore, maybe Peter, you may lead us with a word of prayer.
Yeah, thank you, Dorcas, and welcome to all of you. And let's bow for a word of prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, this morning we want to thank you. We want to appreciate your goodness and your mercies. Thank you for this day and thank you for this opportunity that you've given us to have this webinar and this training session as we interact, as we learn, as we get insights and as we get the questions and answers. We pray that, Lord, you continue to guide us. We pray for your presence and even for the businesses that will be represented in this webinar, for the Coke distributors and all the other retailers. We pray that, Lord, you continue to bless them even in this COVID crisis that we have. We pray that, Lord, you will continue to give us insights that are going to help us thrive through this session. As we start, we ask that, Lord, you guide us in every discussion that we have. In Jesus' name, we do pray and give thanks.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Peter. We now want to just get started. But even as we get started, I just want to welcome everybody on board for this wonderful webinar, which we have prepared to ask us to have a conversation around how we are supporting the Coke distributors and the retailers or the stockists in that matter. So as I said, we are partnering with IFC to bring experts from various parts of, experts in various areas who will support us, especially handholders in these very unprecedented times. And of course, with us, I know we are joined by my colleagues, apart from the IFC team. I recognize we have the relationship management team led by Dennis Kisilu. We have the product managers led by Kenneth Kiprop. And of course, Peter Ndumia, who is also the communication manager dealing with the MSME space. So ours is to give a commitment in terms of our offer and in terms of how we can support our customers. And I expect all of us to participate. I know, just like Diana has said, we have a chat box where you can be able to raise your questions, and definitely at the end of the session or at the end of each session, we will be able to take each of those questions. So I'll give it to Sarah Mbinji, who is our key note speaker today. She is quite experienced, especially in the MSME space, and I am sure she will be able to say what she has done and how she is supporting us, especially in offering education in these very difficult times. So Sarah, welcome on board. Let us know what you have to tell us today.
Thank you. A very good morning to all of you. Thank you, Dorcas. A very good morning to Cooperative Bank and IFC. It's always a privilege, and we always look forward to these sessions where we can get together and discuss some insights which will help us to run our businesses better. I also want to say a very good morning to our participants. Thank you so much for coming on board. Thank you so much, our delegates joining us from the YouTube channel, and also our participants joining us here on WebEx. So just as Dorcas has said, these webinars or these meetings are as a result of a partnership between IFC and Cooperative Bank. And Dorcas, thank you so much, Dorcas, for identifying the key members from Cooperative Bank. And I also want to recognize some of the IFC team members. And I want to start off with our team leader, Kadiga. Kadiga, could you kindly say good morning to our participants so that they can hear your voice? Over to you, Kadiga.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. I'm Khadiga. I'm with the IFC, with the Financial Institutions Advisory Group, and I'm based in Cairo. Nice to be joining you today.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kadiga. And thank you. It's a pleasure to have you on board. Earlier on, I had seen Vivian Owor. I think she seems to have logged out, but I want to recognize her presence. I also want to recognize our local team leader, Stella Masinde. Stella Masinde is not able to join us today. She gave us apologies because she's attending another meeting which is conflicting with this particular one. But the wonderful thing about teamwork is that we are still able to proceed. And I do have their permission and blessings to proceed. Also, I'm not alone in delivering this webinar. You have been hearing the voice of somebody, Diana, and she's a part of our technical team. Diana is very important to the success of this webinar because she keeps everything up and running. Any technical issue, Diana is able to fix it. And Diana, I just want to give you another opportunity to say good morning, because I can see the numbers are up, and you'll bring us up to speed with how many participants are joining us from the YouTube channel. I can see WebEx, the numbers have gone up. So kindly just say good morning. And again, just take us through how to navigate through this platform that we have. Diana, over to you.
Thank you, Sarah, and good morning once again. We are very active on YouTube. We have quite a number of participants joining us from YouTube. I'd like to recognize Atif Shakil from Garissa. Welcome. We have Charles Cheboy joining us from Nairobi. We have Naftali Ogana. We have Water Leaders Limited. Thank you so much for joining. We have Evelyn Tuta. We have Frelo Traders all the way from Embu. We have Daserian General from Oloitoktok. Dennis from Save More Litain. We have Silas from Busia County. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for today's session. And I'll quickly run through the housekeeping rules again. Kindly ensure your audio is switched off. I ensure your cameras are also switched off. We'll have the speakers switching on their camera as they come along to present, so that we have a session that is free of interruptions, and also to make sure that bandwidth consumption is at a minimum. And then we hope you do enjoy today's session, and do let us know what your expectations are. The chat box is open. Reach us through the chat box. Thank you very much, Sarah. That's it from me for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Diana, and a very, very warm welcome to all our participants joining us. This is really music in my ears that we have our friends joining us from Garissa, here from Nairobi, from Embu, Oloitoktok, Litain, Busia, and many, many others. Welcome on board, and we'll make it our business to make sure that your needs are met and that it was worth your time coming on board. So just to say a little something about myself, my name is Sarah Mbinji, and I am going to be your moderator. This is a two-part presentation between myself from IFC, and then we'll have the Cooperative Bank team coming on board and telling us more about the solutions that they have developed or customized or even innovated just to help you to navigate through this time, this challenging time of COVID. So I am an IFC certified instructional designer. What that simply means is that I develop content, and I'm also a trainer. Dorcas talked about, just bringing on board expertise as far as finance is concerned. So I'm a CPAK, a member of ISPAC, and I have quite some substantial experience, but more so as a business owner. So just kick off your boots, relax, take it easy. This is not theoretical, because I've been at it for the last 20 years, and 14 of those years has been all about supporting you as SMEs. And I'm really privileged to be on board to support you this morning. Just as we go along, it's important for me to let us agree, not just myself, but let us all agree on how we are going to conduct ourselves in these few minutes that we have together. Number one, I would encourage you to participate, and I'm so happy to hear the vibrant and lively contribution that is coming in from the YouTube channel. Thank you so much, our participants joining us on YouTube. And I want to encourage also those of us in WebEx. I can see that I'm the only one who has been chatting on WebEx, and that's why I was asking Diana to direct it where the chat box is, because it's important that we participate. Why do I say so? Because the more we participate, the more we'll be able to get out of this training. You know, Cooperative Bank is here. They're listening with a big ear. And it's important that you tell us, what are your pain points? What causes you sleepless nights, so that they can give you solutions based on your need. So I'm looking forward to a vibrant and active participation in the next few minutes during this webinar. Another thing I want to assure you is that this is a very safe space. It's a safe space for you to express yourself, to express your ideas, concerns, questions, and so on through the chat box. And all contributions are valid and they are respected. And so, you are the expert in your business. And we also have expertise on the other side. But as we engage, we are putting a premium on listening to you, to your unique needs, and offering you solutions. And that's what this webinar is all about. Thank you so much for your cooperation in muting your microphones and switching off your videos to conserve the bandwidth, and so far, so good. Without further ado, let's just continue to know who is on call. Thank you so much for our participants who have told us where you're joining us from. And I would also like to encourage, just in case they're new, I can see the numbers are going up. For those of us who are joining us, kindly go to the chat box. We would like to know, where are you joining us from this morning? And more importantly, what is your expectation? What do you hope to get out of these few minutes that we are going to have this conversation? And we are making it our business to listen to you with a big ear and to give you solutions that are going to move your business forward. So I'll be asking Diana. Diana will be assisting me to man the chat boxes, conversations from the YouTube channel and also the WebEx. And we are here to capture each and every word and every sentiment that you're going to pass along. So just as we agreed, this one of the things we're going to do in this webinar is to engage, to kick our feet off and our gloves off, and let's just engage. And I want to start us off with a small activity. And I know that you're going to participate. And in this activity, I'm asking you a question. Supposing Cooperative Bank or any other financial called you and told you, you know what, there's money up for grabs and we want to give you money. My question to you this morning is, what would your business do with that extra funding if you were to get additional financing, just generally? I know you have specific needs and I'm going to come to that later, but right now I just want us to do a dreaming exercise. Let's just close our eyes. Let's just dream. And I would like to allow you the privilege or the opportunity to envision, what would your business do with additional financing? Listen to the instructions carefully. Number one, I'm going to give you an opportunity to close your eyes for 30 seconds. And it's very critical that you see that picture of what would additional financing do for your business. And we're going to be quiet and everybody will have their eyes closed. And I want you to imagine, if you were to get that additional financing, if there was 10 million shillings up for grabs, and it so happened that you were, given the privilege or you won, what would that additional finance do for your business? I need you to see that picture clearly. And after that, I will wake you up, so to speak. I'll ask you to open your eyes, and then we shall go to the chat box. And it's so important for you to tell me, what did you see? It's important that you see the sights, that the sights and the sounds you hear. Why? Because your picture is your future. So I would like us to close our eyes starting now and just imagine, what would additional financing do for your business? Please close your eyes starting now until I wake you up. Awesome. A very good morning. Open your eyes. And they say that one of the recommended practices is that when you wake up from sleeping, you need to have a pen and paper. Why? So that you can capture your dream, so that you're clear about what you saw. I don't want to deny you that privilege. Please go to the chat box and please tell me, what did you see? Please go to the chat box. I'll give you a few seconds to write down, what would additional financing do for your business? Please go to the chat box. Diana, please get ready to read, what is this picture that our participants saw on the YouTube side, and then we'll also track what our participants have seen on WebEx. What did you see?
I'll start off with a few comments coming in from YouTube. And Evelyn says, what causes me to spend sleepless night is just having so many business ideas and channels, but lack working capital. And then we have additional comments from Charles Cheboy, who says, with additional financing, I will increase stock levels. Evelyn goes on to say, expanding my market, already available, but no additional funds. If only I can get additional funding of 1.5 million Kenya shillings, I will be the happiest person. And then yes, and then we have Atif Shakil, who says he would add more stocks and do more turnover. Ogana Naftali says increase stock and infrastructure for my business. And Sinta May says they would add stock.
Thank you so much. Crossing over to the YouTube channel, to the WebEx. I see you, Elizabeth. Sorry, Diana, you want to?
Yes, we have an additional comment from Wycliffe Kerich, who says he would increase stock and get a truck to transport the stock. Yes. And then we also have Richard Ibrahim. We have quite a number of participants joining us from YouTube, so we have quite a number of responses. Richard Ibrahim says, with additional funds, I would increase business verticals and assets to facilitate this. Isaac Mwangi says, more finance, more business for me. Silas Wanyama, expanded business with additional working capital. And Litain Sevmo says he would improve my mechanization and stock levels.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I see Elizabeth, Karibu Sana Elizabeth Webeck saying, I would expand. I would boost my business and take it to another level. Then we have Simone. Simone is saying, if I get extra financing, I would expand my distribution market. Dorcas and team, did you hear that? There's a lot of need out there, and we hear you. Evelyn, I hear you. Charles, I hear you. It's all about stocking. Evelyn says she would be the happiest person in the world. Ogana, stocking. Wycliffe, stocking. And maybe asset financing so that he can transport his stock. Thank you so very much. And we are hearing and we're taking note of what you're saying. Now, that was just an open, sort of question. Now, the next thing I wanted to ask you, but I can see I got some answers alluding to this. I want to ask you, what would that, why, for example, would your business want to borrow? And I can see that was coming out over and above just, I would expand my business, I would expand my distribution networks and so on. Here, let's narrow down into the specifics. What are some of the things now? We are coming to what is this that is causing you sleepless nights at night? When you're trying to sleep, when you think about your business. And the question here is, think about the reasons why you would want to borrow. We are going through a pandemic, a period of, the COVID pandemic. And by the grace of God, we are here in December. But this year, I know, has been very challenging. And there are a number of needs that you have and you need to borrow, especially in this pandemic. Please go to the chat box and tell me, if you already haven't told me, why would you want to borrow? Why do you want to borrow? Or why do you want to access financing? This webinar is all about access to finance during these times of the pandemic. And I want to commend Cooperative Bank. Thank you so much for the sector-specific focus that you are taking. Why do our retailers, why do our distributors, Coke distributors, need money? Diana, I'm seeing some feedback coming in. Please tell us. Oh, Diana is saying, think about the reasons why you want to borrow during the pandemic. Let us know your reasons. Our participants, has all been said? Or is there somebody else who would like to get a bit more specific? Why do you need funding? And if you have a burning request, I'll allow you to unmute your microphone and tell us, why do you need to borrow? Why do you need to access financing during this time of the pandemic? I'm waiting to hear from you.
We
I
have
can.
a comment from from WebEx, and the comment is brief. The feedback is to build store. Yes.
Maybe to build a store, or maybe to build stock. Both of them are
Yes.
valid. Any responses, Diana,
Yeah.
coming in from YouTube? Or maybe
We have Charlink Suppliers who says additional capital to expand my business. And then, of course, we have Atif Shakil who says we need more money because ourselves, we give credit to our retailers and stockists for a push for sales. Yes.
So, yes, so I'm hearing you. I'm hearing.
And then we
Yes.
also have Mr. Njenga who says we need funding to increase stock to meet the high demand during this Coke peak season, which runs from December to March 2021.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Njenga. We hear you, and we hear you, our participants. You know, when we went into the pandemic period, of course, we know, you know, we've been through the lockdowns. There's a lot of stay at home, not only for students, you know, our children are home, but also there's a lot of us, many of us are working from home. And this pandemic is actually affecting us in various ways. But let's just look at some of the unique challenges, or some of the challenges that you may be facing as a distributor or also as a retailer. COVID-19. You know, these days it's very difficult to hold a conversation without making mention or reference to the COVID-19. And in as much as people maybe perhaps would think, you know, people will always drink, they'll always look for beverages, they'll always look for sodas, you know, people are at home now, maybe drinking more and so on. If I heard clearly, I heard Mr. Njenga saying, you know what, now we need to up our game because we are now in the seasons, period. We're now in December, and so on. And in as much as we're going through the pandemic, there's also opportunity for us to take advantage of that boost or boom in business. But we know that you have been affected, especially by the downturn in the hospitality industry. Bars have been closed, restaurants have been closed, hotels have been closed, and so on, and that has affected you. And although we are slowly waking up and trying to get out of COVID, sometimes we get mixed signals. We don't know whether we're in the second wave. There's a lot of uncertainty, and these uncertainties have affected businesses across the board, and also you guys are not exempt. I heard you. I was listening to you very keenly, and I had some feedback coming in. If I was given additional financing, you know what, Sarah, Diana, Dorcas, I would expand my business. So it is a reality that because of what has been going on in the business environment, business growth has been curtailed. We have not grown as much as we had projected to grow. I know you have your strategic plans, and towards the end of 2019, last year, you were very clear about what you wanted to achieve. Maybe the new outlets, distribution outlets that you wanted to open in different parts of the country, and so on. But guess what? COVID-19 came, and it has actually affected us. Those strategic plans, or those business plans, we've had to look at them again. We've had to review. We have had to adapt them to the changes in the environment. We have been forced to bend in the direction of the wind in our businesses, and so on. So I know that you would like to have grown much more than the growth that you have registered in 2020. And so it is a fact, and you'll agree with me that business growth has been, suppressed across the board. I heard you saying working capital, cash flow challenges. Na hii ni ukweli wa mambo. Even before COVID came along, working capital, hiyo sasa ndio mzunguko wa pesa. Pesa inazunguka between your customers. You need to procure, get stock from your suppliers. And in order to do that, you need assistance. You need a solution that will help you to, strengthen you, make payments on your behalf so that you can, the stock can be released so that you can stock. I've had a lot of you saying stocking is my challenge. And if I had additional money, you know what, Sarah, you know what, Diana, I would stock. And we know that this is actually the reality. We know that because of depressed, basically the depressed economy, even in terms of payments, it's an issue. And this is where now we are talking about access to financing. A partner, a financial partner, ule atakusaidia kuzungusha hiyo pesa, what we are calling working capital. Another challenge that you have, that's why we are having this forum here, and you've already alluded, you've told me in the chat boxes, access to financial solutions upstream with the Nairobi bottlers, for those of us who are distributors, and also downstream to the different outlets where you're selling your stock. Stocking, let me not even, go there, because we have already said we'll just be overemphasizing, but it's a real challenge. It's a real issue that you're facing. I know when we talk about access to finance, there is no way we can ignore the issue of security, collateral, because there has to be something that we are pledging. Remember that Cooperative Bank doesn't have money of its own. It's trading with other people's money. So that assurance, and although we are saying that yes, security, collateral is important, it's also important for us to realize that Cooperative Bank is not in the business of trading with securities. They want you to grow. They want you to advance your business, but this is just a fallback plan. Even when you look at the value of those, the market value or the market, the market value of those securities now, or the ability of somebody to dispose of securities now, again, in this atmosphere, it is another thing altogether. But I know that this issue of security and collateral is one of the issues that you perhaps grapple with when you're trying to access financing. I know that we have small businesses on board, we have big businesses on board, we have newer entrants, we are those of us who have been in the industry and in the game, we have experience for a longer period of time. Na unapojipima nguvu, these are some of the things that we would need to address. We're looking also at asset financing. I heard, let me see, Wycliffe, I heard you when you were saying, you know what, if I had extra money, I would actually buy a truck that will help me to distribute. And you see, again, depending on the size of your business, uwe mkubwa, uwe mdogo, some of us perhaps need tuk-tuk. Tuk-tuk is very convenient, is able to help us go a long way in helping us to transport these stocks. We are also looking at the issue of, yes, we do need financing. I think that one is undisputable. It's across the board, we have agreed, if there is additional financing I can get, why not? I'm interested. And I think this morning, the message that Cooperative Bank is saying is, come, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. And I know perhaps that some of you are coming in, you're walking into this conversation, maybe trembling and saying, has anything changed at the bank? Is it those, are you going to ask us for that long list of requirements? We expect you to have banked with us for the last 6 months. Or has anything changed? Have you relaxed maybe the products, maybe made them a bit different to help us as Coke distributors or retailers to overcome this challenge of quick access? When you need money, you need it, and you need it at that time. Time is of the essence. And I'm sure that you're here to listen to Cooperative Bank in terms of any kind of change in processes that will help to accelerate or will relax a few conditions here and there. And so we're looking forward to hearing what Cooperative Bank is going to tell us in terms of the way forward, or what kind of options we have. And then we can continue the conversation. Another challenge that you have, for anyone needing, there are two sides of this coin. There's you and me. We are business people. We are trying to run our businesses and we need financing. We need to access that financing. And then there's the financier. So we are meeting there in the middle. And in order for a financier to be able to give effective solutions, financial solutions, it's important that we understand you. And I just love Cooperative Bank, the logo or the rallying cry, we are you. And we're looking forward to hearing what kind of solutions Cooperative Bank has on board. We could spend the whole day. We could talk about our challenges until the cows come home, so to speak. But what is more important is to say that we realize the challenges, we acknowledge the challenges that you are facing as business people in this, in this industry. And the more important thing is to provide solutions. And I think that's why you came, so that you can hear what is the way forward. And so I want to end my one part, my presentation, and I want to hand over to Cooperative Bank. And I want to give Cooperative Bank the opportunity to talk a little about, this is a conversation we'll not be able to finish within this call. We can't be able to finish this conversation, but at least we can start it. And then we can continue this conversation after the call. So what is Cooperative Bank's commitment or support to customers? And that is you and me, Coke distributors and retailers. At this point, I would like to hand over, Dorcas, back to you so that you can tell us more about what Cooperative Bank has in mind. Dorcas, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for taking that up and articulating what it is that our customers may require and some of the challenges that they have been going through. And thank you again for those people who are engaging us on the chat box, because that is where we are able to see what comments you have, and we are able to address, or we are able to engage you better. So having said that, Sarah, we really appreciate the journey you've been taking us through during these webinars. And is one of the main aims of Cooperative Bank is to ensure that we are working with our customers. When we say we are you, we really mean that. And we can only be you if we understand your needs and if we appreciate the environment you're operating in. And that is why these engagements are very, very important. So as I said again, we have been having various partnerships. One of them, as I said, is with IFC to be able to scope and even to look at what needs our customers have and how we can support them. So collaboratively, we have been working with some of these customers to bring various experts on board so that we can re-engineer our solutions to ensure that we are speaking to the market. One of the things that Sarah did indicate is how can we solution our customers even in these very difficult times by ensuring that we are using more solutions around technology and solutions that will facilitate us speak to our customers without necessarily having to look at or having to request them for very difficult and complicated, long list of things that, keep them off when they start engaging with us. So we have re-engineered a bit of that just to see, yeah, these are our customers. These are customers who are dealing with Coke or even distributors. How can we support them based on the information that Coke has or holds in their database, so that then we can be able to give them a solution that speaks to their needs. And now that we are talking about stocking, now that we are talking about we are getting into a peak season, of course, I've seen what some of the things that we are talking about are around restocking or expanding our stock. So on that, again, we have partnered, as I said, with Coke to come up with a solution together with one of our fintech partners. And I recognize, I can see Fred Njogu has joined us in this call, which is a fintech, to review what data Coke has. And out of that data, we can be able to give you solutions based on your previous turnovers and, looking forward to, expand your business. So I will go straight to some of the solutions or the solution that we are offering to our customers, retailers. And one of the challenge we have realized that is a stock as this customer who will import them a firm a solution now, of course, talking or do not have money at this time, or you have and out of what solution for distributors we do not have is at all. So how can we support you as a bank? And this is where we are saying then we will want to look at you from the perspective of you have been a distributor, for example, or you have been a stockist, or you have been a retailer or a duka out there, or an outlet that sells some of these products from Coca Cola. How can we support you? And as I said, one of the things is give you sufficient stock so that as we get into the peak season, you have sufficient stock to be able to serve your customers better. How are we going to do that? Of course, once we get to onboard you into our ecosystem or into our systems, we will be able to finance you 100%. By ensuring that once you place an order, the order will be delivered to you, and it will be the work of the bank to make payment to your distributor or even to Coke in advance, and then you will be able to sell your product. Once you sell your product, whether in whatever period of time, then once you reorder again, by then you'll have credited back the money that you have used to sell the stock. We will revolve that solution, or we will revolve that credit, so that then you can be able to have it for the next season. The other aspect is for big distributors who are required to give bank guarantees. Again, it's an area we are willing to support them so that they can give the necessary bank guarantees to Coke for purposes of ensuring that they will always have stock and sufficient stock as required. Finally, I know we did mention the issue of security, and we'll be going to that on what alternatives is the bank looking at, so that then you are not stuck when you really need stock, yet you do not have the necessary security. So as a bank, we are also looking at that just to see how we can support you even without security, or with minimal security. We can be able to ensure that you are always trading. In terms of other solutions, or yes, some of us have been asking a question around, yes, I would want to do transportation for my goods from point A to point B to point B. I need a truck, I need a tuk-tuk. How can we support you? Again, we have solutions around asset financing, where we finance you so that you can be able to access, whether it's a truck, whether it is a pickup, for you to be able to do the necessary movement from point A to point B. In that also, we have insurance solutions that we avail to our customers, and we give these solutions, and you don't have to necessarily pay all the money at the beginning or upfront. We give you a period of 6 to 9 months to be able to pay off that insurance policy, and that way then it eases your cash flow problems. So for example, if your premiums are 100,000, we can look at a way of how do we space it out so that you don't pay 100,000 in January, but you pay 10,000 each month for the 10 months. And that way then you will be able to ease your cash flow problems. We have talked about the issues around expanding your market. Some customers may be having a market within which they're operating in, and they would want to expand their business so that they are selling more. Maybe their territory has been expanded. Again, we will want to come in and give you additional capital so that then you can be able to stock appropriately. And in that way, then you will be able to have you will be able to attract more customers, and of course your turnovers will be able to be increased over time. What does this partnership offer us? That is the Coke partnership, Coke and Cooperative Bank partnership, and of course together with our fintech. What does it offer us? We are having a solution which we call COP Top Me Up. What happens in this solution? As I said earlier, you will be able to access financing without very lengthy procedures, which we normally experience most of the times when we go to the banks, because what you're doing is that we are using data from Coke and even from your distributors to be able to gauge your level of capital requirement. So in that, you will be able to access negotiated prices for whatever solution we give you, whether it is whether you're accessing a facility for 1 week, 2 weeks, or even a month. We will be able to give you negotiated prices, which then again means that then you will be able to make more money. You will be able to make higher profits. In terms of the other opportunity that we see around that, some of us have shops where you can be able to, depending on your location and depending again on the areas that you serve, we can encourage you to get into to be part of COP Bank agents, COP Bank kwa Jirani agent. What does that mean for you? It means then you will be able to be part of our agents, then the wide agents that we have. And out of that, you will make an extra coin that you would not have made on a normal day. So it gives you, you are able to, once you start rolling out those solutions that are given by the bank, then you are able to make a commission out of being a COP Bank agent. So these are some of the things that we are doing just to encourage what we call ecosystem banking. And I am sure every distributor who is serving has the capacity to actually be able to be part of our wide network of agents. Moving forward, Sarah. I know most of the people will be asking what are our requirements, and as I said, our requirements are pretty straightforward. One, you have to be a retailer or a distributor for Coca Cola. Why is this the case? It is the case because, again, as I said, for us to be able to serve you better, we want you to, we just want to utilize whatever data or whatever sales turnovers you have had in the past, maybe 12 months or the past 24 months. And out of that, we can be able to access your capacity and even your ability to be able to trade. Number two, once we confirm that you meet the first criteria. Number two, then we onboard you as a COP Bank customer For those who are already our customers, it's much easier because then we already have you in our ecosystem. So it's just a matter of indicating to your relationship manager or your branch manager that you would want to access this facility, and then we will be able to give the facility to you. Of course, in terms of eligibility or in terms of how much we can give you, we will be looking at your turnovers. And in this case, we are looking at your 5 weeks turnover, and we are able to give you that money upfront. Once you stock and sell your stock, we will be able to revolve that facility over time. Finally, of course, for the larger distributors or for the distributors, we will also be looking at we'll be looking at partnering with them. As I said, they have an opportunity to access either the bank guarantees or even capital for expansion. In terms of security, I know that is an area that Sarah has really talked about because it's a very, very, very big challenge for most of us. In terms of what security, up to 500,000 for any amounts up to 500,000 that is unsecured. For amounts of 2 million, we will be asking for chattels and these, items like logbooks, and we can also discuss other chattels that we can also onboard for us to be able to avail this limit to you. We have another class where, again, we are able to offer you the facility. But in this case, then what we request you to do is just avail us 50% of security. And then the other 50%, we are able to structure it by onboarding our partners in the insurance sector or in the guarantee sector, where they can be able to underwrite the other 50%. However, I will say that these are for really new customers and customers who cannot be able to fit what we call our MSME package. For customers who fit our MSME package, then theirs is even easier and better. Because if you fit any of our programs, which I will be showing to you shortly, you can be able to access up to 10 million unsecured facilities, but you must meet a certain criteria, which I can show you next. Sarah? Yeah, so I will continue with this because my colleague Moses will also be joining me shortly, just to give us some of the things that we are doing with the MSME. But as I said, for MSME customers who have already been in our ecosystem, we have 3 kind of packages. The first package is the gold package. In the gold package, customers in this category are able to access a checkbook. They are also able to do what we call M collection. And in M collection, what normally happens is that we give you a certain code, and your customers can actually be able to send money to our account, using the mobile banking without having to get a pay bill or even the till number. So that again supports our customers because we are able to reduce the cost of doing business for them. Then we also have a solution called COP Online. And again, here you are not charged for the monthly services, and you can be able now to access this system, and you can be able to either pay your salaries, pay KRA, pay bills like water and even KPLC very, very, very effortlessly. In this gold package, this is where I said you can actually access up to 10 million to be able to finance your business unsecured. Why is this? Because, of course, once you get into this program, we will be able to work with you and look at some of the areas that we will need enhancement and some of the areas that you need support from us. Then the other level is the silver package. On the silver package, if you qualify to be in to onboard on this package, you will access up to 6 million unsecured. And again, some of the solutions that you will also be able to access is the checkbook, the M collection, just like I said earlier on, the M-Corp cash, and of course, you will also be able to get into all the other channels that we utilize to help you collect from your customers. Finally, we have another level we call the bronze package, and this is the level where you are able to access up unsecured limits of up to 600,000. And of course, that again comes with the other packages that we talked about, that is the checkbooks, the coupon line, and of course, you're also able to get a pay bill number if you require for your Lipa na M-Pesa. I think having said that, it is important that we and I don't know, Diana, from where you are, if we have any questions around this before we can very quickly then go to a session on our commitment, because it is out of that that we can be able to give our commitment. Diana, are there any questions so far?
Yes, Dorcas, I'll just go straight to YouTube. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, Diana, I can hear you.
Yes, Diana, we can hear you. Okay.
Okay. It seems we have an echo. Let me just check. Okay. Okay, thank you. So I'll quickly go over to the questions coming from YouTube, and we have a question from Mr. Kubasu. And the question is, what happened to the credit limit? I'm on the silver account package and I was promised 1 million credit limit that never was. And then he goes on further to ask another question. Your online banking charges have been increased from 60 shillings per transaction to 120 shillings per transaction, making costs of banking expensive considering we do transactions daily. And there are other bank charges. That is from Mr. Kubasu. And then I will move over to Charles. We have a question from Charles Ngombo. And Charles is, just a minute. Charles is saying that the market for Coca Cola products is readily available. The issue is, how is it possible for businessmen to give the consumers what they need to stabilize the demand? We need funding from COP. That is from Charles. And then we have Jacob Omondi, and Jacob says he's following us from Siaya. And his comment is that it's sad that your policy on asset financing is so rigid. And then we have Evelyn Tuta. Evelyn says, I'm currently a distributor with a net investment of 2.3 million shillings, but the market I want to get into needs 2 million shillings. Can the 50% security work on me? And then finally from YouTube, no, actually we have a few more. Maybe I can just read out one more before I give the panel a chance to answer before coming back. Charles Cheboy is asking, can you handle motor vehicle trade-ins? And then Pius Njenga is asking, is this Coke Corp partnership only during this pandemic or even after pandemic will continue? We have quite a number of questions coming in from YouTube, so I'll let the panel address those ones before coming back to read some more. Over to you, Dorcas.
Thank you, Diana. There was a question around the 50%, which was 2 million. I didn't quite get it. I don't know if you can repeat that question. I think the last two questions. I could just go.
Okay.
I'm sure I will.
That must have been from Evelyn.
Yeah.
Okay, that question came from Evelyn Tuta. So the question is, just a minute. Evelyn says that she's currently a distributor with a net investment of 2.3 million shillings, but the market that she wants to get into needs 2 million. Can the 50% security work for her? That is the question.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Diana. I will take the questions up, and maybe Ken and Dennis, or even Peter, in case there's a question I have missed out, please get ready to come through. So I will start with a question from Kubasu. What happened to the credit limit of Kenya shillings 1 million for the bronze? I think to address that question, I will say I may not have the details immediately right now, but it's something I will follow up just to check what it is that could have happened. If I can maybe further explain about some of these packages, there is a criteria that one has to meet for you to be able to for you to tap either of the facilities that we've talked about. So if there is a criteria that you have not been able to meet, again, it becomes a blocker, and maybe for you, Kubasu, I will take up your details and I will follow up with you, and of course the branch manager, so that then we can be able to see how or what could have gone wrong and where we can be able to support you. There was a question about, is this Coke partnership for this pandemic, or is it only for this peak season? No, this is a partnership that we have started, and it's a partnership that will go well into the future. Why? Because we know this is where the future is going, and ours is really to strengthen the two ecosystems, that is the customers for Coke and customers for Cooperative Bank, so that we can avail for them solutions that speak to that particular market. What we have realized over time is that we offer, solutions that are not specific to a certain purpose, and this is very, very deliberate, so that we are addressing a particular need or a sector, and that way then we will be able to work together and see, are there any other additions or other improvements that we need to do. So it is a solution that will go well into the future. As I said, we are looking at your trading patterns. We are looking at how you have traded in the past, and even what your strategy is moving forward. And out of that, then we can be able to give you a solution that is sustainable and that will make your business out of that way into the future. Then somebody talks about asset finance having or being rigid. And if you look at what I said earlier on, what this partnership is helping us to do is to reduce some of this rigidity, so that we can be able to reduce some of the challenges that our customers have been facing. Remember, again, when we put a solution out there, we are looking at a wide market, and a wide market where we are not focusing maybe our efforts into a certain sector and the needs within that sector. Then it means we will give something that speaks to everybody. So the requirements are also as many, because we do not know your specific needs. So with this partnership, we will be able to learn who you are, how you trade, how you trade with your customers or your other partners, and out of that, it makes it easier for us to learn you better, and then we are able now to reduce some of the asks that we we keep talking about, whether it is documentation and whatever it is. And finally, there was a question around the COP online. And again, maybe to just demystify something around this, when we talk about COP online, of course, we are giving you a solution that supports you, a solution that is within reach, a solution that gives you convenience and is available anywhere and everywhere that you are. Why is that so? Because we realize our customers are busy. They have many other things that they are doing. Remember, again, it avails you an opportunity to be able to transact from anywhere, from your office, even from your house, even from your, whether you're on travel, business travel, wherever you are in the world, you can actually be able to conveniently transact in the bank. And this solution, now given that, you realize that then you cut off all the other costs of travel to go to the bank, you cut off on time to go to the bank. And because of that convenience, also, of course, we charge a very, decent cost. And again, as I said, these are discussions that we are having, or the conversations that we find out, is there an area whether you have bulk payments, and out of that, then we can be able to see how we can stop online. The issues are coming on board to give you convenience, solutions that will also cut off a lot of time that you have either to go and put the convenience, beyond traffic, and out of that, we charge just that very small fee. I don't know if I addressed all the questions, Peter and Kenneth.
Yeah, maybe Dorcas, if I can add on your point, there's a customer who has asked about the financing of the outlets to buy from the distributors. Yes, I think here we have a solution whereby we are going to the shops and the outlets. I can give a case like Kangemi, whereby we have registered around 20 shops. And when the distributor in that area called Salem is distributing stock, we are able to finance the outlets on the go. So what we have done is that we have opened accounts for these customers. And what we have done is that we have given them an overdraft, so that when Salem is supplying stock, we debit the overdraft limit, then credit Salem from a real-time perspective. So yes, we have the solution also to help the shops and outlets who are buying from the distributors. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiprop. No, I think Kiprop was adding on to one of the questions. Maybe if we could go back to Evelyn's question, where Evelyn was asking that she's currently a distributor with a net investment of 2.3 million, but the market I want to get in needs 2 million. Can 50% security work for her? Before I go to the other questions.
Oh,
and
thank
also
you, thank you, thank you.
Cheboy. Sorry, also Charles Cheboy had asked, can you handle motor vehicle trade-ins?
Thank you so very much, Diana, for that. And Evelyn, yes, we are happy to discuss that. And yes, that is something that we can look at. We normally what we is also where you for example, expand to, and out of that we are able to make a business case, and we can be able to avail the solution, on a 50% collateral. And yes, let's engage. We will be taking your contact, so that after this call, my team will actually get in touch with you to ensure that we support you on that particular facility. In terms of motor vehicle trading, yes, as I said, one of our key strengths, of course, is working on solutions that speak to our customers. And one of the solutions around motor vehicle trading that we have been doing, of course, besides asset finance and leasing, we also do, as we have a solution that supports our customers to do direct importation of motor vehicles. So when we do that, of course, it either means you want to either do asset finance or you want to do leasing. The other dealing that maybe you would be talking about is stocking, or what we call, for example, if you have an outlet, I quite ask that of what that is talking about. But if you have if you're a trader for motor vehicles, we will either support you bring those motor vehicles so that they are available at your yard anytime your customers want them, or we keep whom you'll get into contact with, and we will support you so that you can directly import with them. So those two solutions maybe would speak to you, unless there's any other clarity you may want around that. Diana?
Thank you, Dorcas, for those responses, and thank you to Kenneth as well. We still have quite a number of questions. We still have quite a number of questions, and I'll go through them. Okay, so we have Cinta May, who's asking, what's the interest rate for the stock financing? We have Jane Peterson asking, can one get a top-up loan after getting the asset finance? And then Pius Njenga is asking, will Copbank buy the current financing facilities from another bank? So his bank, he has these facilities in another bank, and he's asking if Copbank would be able to buy the current facilities from his bank. We have Richard Ibrahim, and the question from Richard is, are these products specifically for distributors for Nairobi bottlers, or does it apply to those who deal with different Coca Cola bottling companies? We have Nikesh Shah, who says that he applied for a term loan or overdraft, but till today, I have not got any feedback from the branch. And then we have Oscar Kimani, who says, for asset financing, can one get up to 90% financing for only new cars, but it includes second-hand vehicles within the 8-year limit? And then...
Sorry, come on that again, Diana.
Silas Wanyama says, currently we are enjoying MCOP cash loan. Can I be able to access other financing during this peak period? And then Evelyn Tuta says, thank you for your response. I'm really humbled. For further information, I would be grateful to know where I can get you. Thank you once more. Over to you, Dorcas, before we can address the questions, and then we'll move over to the questions on WebEx. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Diana. Again, I will take it up. In terms of what interest rates we are offering for these facilities, we have two programs, and the first program is for 8 days, and this is mainly for who we call the primary sales. And on this program, we are charging up a fee of 0.533%. 0.533%. Then we have the other program, which is for secondary sales. That is for the people who are buying from the distributors. Again, on this program, the facility there, we are charging a fee of 1%. In terms of asset finance, what if we do any top-ups? You realize that for asset finance, really it is specific to a particular maybe motor vehicle or to a particular equipment. So that one will require us to engage so that we can review what equipment it is or what vehicle it is and what purpose you are going to utilize whatever amount you want. Yeah, and based on that, of course, we can be able to structure something for you. Bank buy the facility, the Coke facilities from other bank? Yes, a very big yes. Because again, as we said, this is a partnership we have started, and it is really to strengthen that ecosystem. So for us, then we would want to definitely discuss and see what facilities you have on the other side. And out of that, we can see, do we take them as they are? Do you need an enhancement or what it is? So we will be looking at those two areas or what we want to do areas of business. So we could either take them as is, that is at the levels they are in, or we could take them and enhance them to facilitate you be able to access or be able to get more stocks. There was a question around, is this facility only for Nairobi bottlers? So currently that is where we had that we are, of course, expanding to all the other bottlers. So yes, we have just started, but of course, we are also having a new engagement with all the other partners because it is a partnership with Coke. So we are just piloting with Nairobi bottlers, but of course, over time, we are also moving on to all the other bottlers. Somebody says they did apply for a term loan and they are yet to receive the feedback. The only thing I can say about this, because I may not have all those details right now, is we will definitely be dropping our contact so that you can contact us. And of course, always the first contact is the branch. But yes, we will also try and see where we can review and see what could have gone wrong, and of course advise if there are any areas that we may want to look at to support you. So again, please drop your contacts and we definitely will get in touch with you. MCOP cash loan, yes, somebody says they have an MCOP cash loan and they would want to understand can get it. Banking is a relationship business, really, and how you have performed on previous facilities is very critical for us to be able to see how we can give you further or more facilities. So if you have done well on MCOP cash, I can give you a tick that yes, it's an area we will facilitate you and you can actually be able to access the other facilities. So just engage us, engage your branch, engage your relationship manager, and we will try and see how we can support you be able to either access other types of loans or even enhance whatever or top up whatever you're having. Diana, I hope I attended to all the questions. Ken, to add, please let me know.
Thank you, Dorcas. I think the only question that probably we didn't address was from Oscar Kimani, whose question is asset financing. Can one get up to 90% financing for only new cars, or it includes second-hand vehicles which are imported within the 8-year limit? And then we also have an additional, we've received additional feedback from Martin Mosoti. Martin says, I took an SME loan at Mariakani. I serviced the loan for 8 months, but on paying off, I was told I had to pay all the interest that I would have paid for the entire period. That is the 3-year period. So Martin would be happy if we addressed that issue. And then Dorcas, I'll let you respond to those two before moving to WebEx. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Diana. In terms of asset financing, accessing up to 90%, yes, no facility because of the age of the vehicle. Most of the times we for 90% or 95%, it's normally an arrangement with the dealer, and that is where you're able to access up to 90%. For anything else, definitely that will be an engagement that will require us to assess the vehicle and you know the performance. But I can guarantee you, it's something we would want to look at. But as a rule of thumb, or as a policy, we only do 90% for new vehicles. Now, for the customer in for the other question, I would want to get more details to that before I can respond. So I will engage him. If we can have your contact, I will engage you immediately after this call so that we can be able to get to know what exactly the challenge was. Is there a facilities? Anything you may say?
Okay, thank you, Dorcas. I'll move over to WebEx, and we have a question from Hamisi, and Hamisi is from Real Distributors in Thika. He says, if we need financing to beef up operations during this high season of December to March, how fast can we access it? And then we also have a question on the limit, which the silver package limit, which is what I had read out earlier from YouTube. And then there's a customer who commented that I am on silver package and I pay salary on online banking. I have not seen MCOP cash as I'm charged 120 shillings per transaction. And then finally from WebEx, we have Jeremiah Njuki who says, how much time will the loan take after providing all the required documents? Over to you, Dorcas.
Okay, so for Hamisi, thank you. As we started this conversation, one of the things we said is that the bank is looking to support customers, especially in this peak season, so that they can beef up or they can stock up or they can increase their stock to attend to the surging demand during this season. So yes, it's something we are looking to support you. And your question is, how soon would we do that? As I said, because of it's not that I say, and what I can guarantee you, the TA around to give you the facility better is because you already policy in the body in this call easy because we already have your we are and I mean, on that you are able to access the facility. For Thika, I know we are getting into Thika, and Ken, maybe you may want to check on that. I know we had started in Nairobi, but we're also getting into all the other areas. So Ken, you may want to check on that so that we can appropriately address that question. But yes, as soon as we get all the data for the core customers, it will be very easy for us to process within a week. Jeremiah, you're also asking how long it will take to process the facility once you give us all the documentation. Again, as I said, banking is a relationship tool. It is how soon you can provide all the documentation or all the requirements that we have requested for. So once you're able to provide all that, we can access the first. And we can, as soon as we get all the just first one thing, as I said, we will report. Diana?
Thank you, Dorcas. We have a final question. Yes, Dorcas, we have one final question coming from YouTube. And the question is, what is our expectation in terms of your efficiency? That is Copbank's efficiency. Have you tried this with other distributors dealing with other products, and how successful were you? That's our final question for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, so as we said, yes, this is for us, we have just started this program, and we have been able to disburse a few facilities in the last couple of days. And yes, it's something that we have scaled. We did say at the beginning, one of the areas that we have perfected, or we have managed to work around, is our ability to automate our services. And out of that, we are able to have a better turnaround. This solution is a solution that you will be able to access by, having to do a request on your mobile, and once you do that request, it comes to our ecosystem. We do the necessary analysis. We will send you your offer letter on the same, either via email or on the same system to accept that letter of offer. So it cuts so much time that we used to spend doing documentation, whether it's documentation for offer letters and all that. And because of that efficiency, because of that automation, then we have increased our efficiency drastically. So yes, we are confident we are coming to the market with an unmatched solution, and a solution that will speak to our customers, a solution that will address the big challenge that we have always had of customers, having to put up with so many requirements, and number two, also, the forth and back that comes with the offer letters, because maybe you have not signed one of the pages on the offer letter. This will be a thing of the past, because your offer letter will be accepted on either email or on the mobile, and that way, of course, we are able to increase efficiency around that. So in terms of what you're doing, and I said, we are working with a fintech who will support us in ensuring that, yes, we receive clean data from Coke, and out of that, then we are able to come in and match to as possible that we. So what would be our call to action? Allow me.
Dorcas,
I know.
allow me to ask one more question that has come in before I let you wind up, and this is from Lynn Bet. Lynn is asking, what if I distribute Coke products as well as other products not from Coca Cola? Will you accommodate my turnover from products that are not from Coca Cola while doing my credit evaluation? And then finally, we have a final comment which says that online banking is not able to save and retrieve accounts for future payments. That's it for the questions, Dorcas. Thank you.
On the last question, Diana, can you come up again with that question?
Okay, I think it was more of a comment, and it says online banking is not able to save and retrieve accounts for future payments.
Okay, thank you. So, Lynn, you want to know, yes, you have a shop, or you have a duka, and you want to know which data we are going to use to evaluate you. At the moment, we are using the data for Coke for this particular program, so that we can solution you for Coke product. However, let me also put it this way. that if you have extra requirement, our business banker and even our product managers will be at hand to work with you, so that we can also see, yes, besides the Coke, how else can we support you with the entire business that you're doing. So it's an engagement that we can pick up, Lynn, and I'm sure we are here with my team from the MSME, the relationship managers. Yeah, we come to you, we will be able to address even those other kind of stock levels. Then somebody talked about Coop Online. We are not able to retrieve the data, or is it to store the data? Diana.
The comment is online banking is not able to save and retrieve accounts for future payments.
Oh, okay. Thank you. There is a module that you are able to save and retrieve whatever information that you want. If, for example, you have a it's a bill that you pay over time, or it's a customer you keep paying, there is a module for you to be able to save that. And again, I think we can take the details of that customer so that we can take them through all the modules for Coop Online. Diana?
Okay, thank you very much, Dorcas. I think that's it as far as the questions for today's session are concerned, and I'll allow you to proceed with the call to action.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Tim. That was quite engaging, and we are excited. We are here to support and even to continue supporting you. Diana, I am sure you will be dropping our contacts so that then our customers can actually be able to engage us even after this webinar. So in terms of what is required of you after this, one is engage your relationship managers at the branch. We have a wide, branch network, and we have several branches that are out there where you can actually be able to go for those who are not our customers, and we can be able to open an account immediately. And then, of course, constant engagement with our branch managers and even relationship managers to keep getting to know what it is we are rolling out and how we are rolling out this particular program. Secondly, I know there has been quite some engagement around our Coop Online because it is one of the solutions that we have launched during this year. It's a robust solution, and we have seen a lot of customers on board, and they are excited about the new features in there, because you are able to pay your salaries, you can be able to pay your utility bills, and you can also be able to pay whether it's KPLC, NSSF, NHIF, that can already be in the areas to go, and we will, of course, continue to identify available business opportunity and raise new funding needs with your, based, of course, with the constant discussions that you have with your relationship manager. I know there are solutions that in there you to say, can we also to our entire business, as opposed to just looking at one line of. That can only happen if you have constant engagement with our team on the group. Of course, our lines will be available. Our contacts will raise to ensure that you have every person that you need, whether it's asset finance, whether it is the relationship manager to be able to scope you for new solutions. And of course, ourselves, the teams that I mentioned earlier on, to ensure that you are well grounded, especially during this season. As we get into the festivities, we will then be able to see how well we can be able to serve you and how well we can be able to solution you and give you sufficient stock to address the market that is under you. So with that, I really want to say a big thank you. And I want to give this opportunity back to Peter so that he can give us his remarks, and Diana, so that they can give us the closing remarks. Thank you so very much. Just let's be available about.
Yes, thank you so much, Dorcas. I think that was quite.
As we get the.
Hi, Diana.
Hi, Peter, we can hear you.
Good. I think, thank you so much, Dorcas, for such a wonderful and quite insightful session, and very good engagement across the whole webinar from the participants. I want to really appreciate the team, the participants, all our customers for really getting time to join us, having a session with us. Thank you so much, Dorcas, for your quick address to the questions and on the solutions that we have. And I know this session can go for a very long time, but we had an opportunity to just share the tips. And then I think I also want to appreciate Sarah for again on giving us the tips, sharing the insightful tips that drive through this pandemic, and also our distributors. I think there are quite a number of challenges that came, and asante sana for such insights. I think thank you also team, our customers and our colleagues. We had other relationship managers who are listening. Thank you so much for participating, and we really appreciate all of you. I think for our customers, we have shared our emails. We have shared some contacts that if you want to get to engage us, please feel free to talk to us. And I think my last item would be just to ask you to keep engaging us, engaging our relationship managers and our branch managers across the network, because what we say, the relationship between a customer and a bank is similar to the relationship between a doctor and a patient. And if we're able to understand you, if we're able to understand your needs, then we are able to deliver the solutions that you need. So, all the solutions that we have, so you can see we are going to the sector specific to give you what you really need, not what we have, but what you really need. So let's have that engagement going on across the whole network, and with your relationship managers, let them represent your needs to us so that we're able to deliver. Otherwise, thank you so much for participating. Those would be my comments, and as CoBank, we are you, and we'll continue to work together with you to support you. So I think at this point, I want to give this meeting back to Diana, maybe for any closing comments.
Thank you, everyone, for today's session. It was very engaging, and I'm sure the participants learned a lot, and we hope your expectations were met. And thank you so much, team, for organizing this session. We are happy to partner with you. And I think at this point in time, we can close off today's session, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diana, as well, for